a bit more news, and this is as regards Tony Khan's promo about the New Japan and WWE talks that are apparently ongoing. I have already released a YouTube video about these talks and everything that I know a couple of days ago, and the beauty of that is that I was able to actually mention that the talks aren't going particularly well and haven't progressed anywhere near as quickly as the WWE would like. This seems like it was confirmed. I'm not going to take it as any official confirmation, but Tony Khan did say that he had his promo at the WWE's expense approved by New Japan. Now, this very much suggests that New Japan aren't particularly enamored of working exclusively with the WWE, because Tony Khan also said that he plans to continue working with New Japan. Now, the deal between New Japan and AEW is not a formal deal. It's a handshake arrangement, which we will discuss later, based around one singular wrestler, that being Jon Moxley. There will be a little bit more on that later when I talk about Lio Rush, but right now it is just about Jon Moxley, and that is the entire deal in place. It could be, and this is a question I have to ask, that the news getting out as it has forces AEW and New Japan's hand, and they have to start working together, which is telling. Now, talks between WWE and New Japan are not progressing to a level that the WWE are satisfied with, and the Forbidden Door has seemingly been strengthened by this information being leaked. Questions are being asked within the WWE hierarchy as to whether this information might have been intentionally leaked in an effort to scupper negotiations. It is possible, and I'm going to go into this in a bit more detail, that this is a case of agenda journalism. Agenda journalism is not something I've discussed too much so far, but it is a vital thing to be aware of in the media world. Agenda journalism, let's use an example. A wrestler comes to you personally and reports, tomorrow on the pay-per-view, I'm not booked in a WWE Championship match, but I will be leaving as the WWE Champion. You report that that is going to happen. The next night, despite the fact that you got it from a first-hand source, it doesn't happen. Now, it could be they gave you false information, or it could be a case of agenda journalism. They gave you that information intending you to release it with an agenda. It could be that they did not want to feature on the pay-per-view that night, and in the information being released and made public, it forced the WWE to change their plans. That is agenda journalism. Also something to be aware of. I was given a piece of information about a backstage fight in NXT UK more than a year ago now. I only had one source. It was a credible source, but it wasn't a first-hand source. So I reached out to several wrestling journalists. One of them told me that it had definitely happened and they had that from an NXT UK trainer. Another one told me that it definitely hadn't happened. Stop reporting stuff, stop talking bullshit, and please never report this. Agenda journalism. There are questions being asked in the WWE as to whether the release of the information about the WWE New Japan talks is a case of agenda journalism to scupper their efforts.